This is probably going to be one of the most informal YouTube videos ever. I'm taking this all in one take instead of editing it and all that jazz. Some of my other videos will have more effort put into them. Uh, but my name is Oliver, and that is not the name I was born with. I am a transgender teenager, and I really do think that I want a space where I can talk about what I think and what I experience, because I for so long thought I had to fit into this perfect little box. My mother and I got into a lot of arguments when I first came out to her, and I still don't know how she thinks of me. I know she loves me, and she says she supports me, but she does not want to call me by my name. And I know it's because it's painful for her to accept this, and that is not my journey to take, that is hers. But I thought for the longest time that if I was transgender, I had to fit into a very specific box of, if you're transgender, you have to be a soft femboy. Or if you are transgender, you have to be the most hyper masculine man you ever possibly can be. And that led me onto a very toxic mindset because I wanted to be everything. And I didn't know if that was normal. I am not normal. The way I experience this world is not, in a societal sense, normal. My emotions and how I feel things, I'm constantly questioning if I'm feeling them right. If I'm happy, I do feel that. I feel it in my chest. I can physically feel it when I'm happy. But for some other emotions, I can't physically feel them, and I never understood why. I still don't understand why. But I just don't feel things the same way other people do. I don't think it's sociopathy because I feel things in a very intense and deep way, but sometimes I just don't feel them at all. And it's very strange to me. But it is always frustrating because I want to be everything. I want to be the hyper masculine gym bro. I want to be the very intelligent librarian in a dark, laboratory studying old books. I want to be the feral little forest creature that runs around on all fours in the woods. I want to be the I want to be the canine of some kind that is running through fields completely free of any kinds of worries. I want to be the supernatural creature that is my family's ancient lore for years to come. I want to be the feminine witch that is powerful and strong and all of these other things. I wanted to be a really cool gamer who has a very expensive setup and is famous on Twitch. I wanted to be a femboy who's able to love themselves and, fight against sexualization, because why is it so sexual? Actually, I know why it's sexual, it's a completely political thing. But I wanted to be everything at once, and I still do want to be everything at once. And I realized, why can't I? What is stopping me? My wardrobe can change, my hair can change, my personality can change. I can be whoever or whatever I want, because humans are not just one and straight and done. Humans are complex, and I'm not even claiming to be a human. I don't know what I am, but I am me. I am Oliver. I am Icarus. I am all the other names I've gone by online. I am all of the different sides of me put together into one human being. But that doesn't mean that I'm fake or a poser, because I am punk. I dress punk, and I dress in that dark, gritty, grungy way, and I have the political mindset, and I live the political lifestyle of somebody who's punk. But I've had a lot of people call me a poser because I also want to dress femininely. And I'm also a witch, and I'm a hell pole. I worship Apollo and Dionysus. And I've had people be like, you can't be that because you do so and so. You can't be that because you also dress like this. And it came from my mother, too. How can you be a trans man and still wear feminine clothing? Why does it matter? I'm still a man. The skirt isn't what makes me a woman. Being a male or a female is a biological thing that we have chromosome-wise, and not even the chromosomes are straight for most people. There are people who are intersex and have intersex chromosomes, but it doesn't appear on them physically. Biology is weird as shit. Like, it really is. I'm studying to be a paleontologist. I know biology is weird. Have you seen, like, that one fish that hasn't evolved a jaw yet, so it just permanently has a little smiley face? I completely forget what they're called, but they're so stupid, and it's like, why did nature make that? Like, look at this thing. This thing is stupid looking. But biology is weird. Homosexuality and intersexuality and transsexuality is all a very deep, complex thing. I do not think it has to be one or the other. There can be trans men who still go by she, her pronouns, but have a masculine name and have physically transitioned. Because why not? There's no box. They're not existing in the binary that most people do. It's not like we have to. We have evolved from cells in the fucking ocean that photosynthesized. We are creatures that evolved from cells to fish to amphibians to literally everything in between, and then we came to be. And then humans developed art and language and culture, and it became such a wide and vast thing. And we're seriously going to say that the white picket fence nuclear family is normal? We were all black in the beginning. I hate it how people are like, oh, white is the basic, because I've had people say that, and I was like, oh, are you black? Are you Hispanic? They're like, no, I'm normal. I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, I'm white. Like, okay, you're not normal, you're just Caucasian, you know? Like, historical wise, we originated from the continent of Africa, and then humans' ancestors moved around the globe, and once they hit different parts of the globe that we did not need as much melanin in those places, we lost it over time, and white people started to exist. But every single race came from the darker skinned people, because at that point the UV, and in that area we needed to evolve a way to deal with the UV radiation, and so we evolved darker skin. It's not like white people were the first people to exist. Christopher Columbus didn't discover shit. The natives were there before him, and it's not like the Spaniards were the normal, or the colonizers were the normal, or the natives were the normal. Everybody is the normal, and we're not even normal. We have evolved in so many different and complex ways, and you're over here screaming at your son because he's wearing a skirt and kissing boys. Oh no, whatever will you do? It's not like we've gone through things 1,000 times more scary than that. It's crazy how people think that these societal expectations are what the world runs on. Like, if you're not white, then you don't get the same rights because you're not normal. If you're not straight, you're not normal. Homosexuality is a normal thing, so is transsexuality. Have you seen clownfish? Have you seen penguins? Have you seen any other animal that possesses those things? There's literally my favorite movie, Jurassic Park. The entire reason why I'm practically becoming a paleontologist, the entire plot line is that the dinosaurs, no matter what, even if Dennis Nedry didn't screw everything up and the park didn't go to shit, the dinosaurs still would have found a way because life finds a way. The dinosaurs that had the frog DNA, the frogs were a kind of species that changed their sex. If they were in an area that had less males, they would just turn into males so they could continue breeding, because that's a thing. Animals can do that, humans can too. We are very complex creatures. I don't know why people are like, oh, you can't do that because God said this. The Bible was made by humans. The Bible was written by man interpreting God's word. The Bible is an interpretation. You can't say that the Bible didn't say that. The Bible didn't say that. The Bible was written by man to explain the shit that goes on around us. It's one religion in a million, and the only reason why Christianity and Catholicism is so much bigger than every other religion is because it was indoctrinated and pushed on people who didn't believe it in the first place. The natives, they didn't believe in God. They had their own creation myths that varied depending on tribe. And it doesn't matter who God is. It does not matter what God is. We are God. We created the society and the thinking and everything. We can go to outer space, and yet we tell children, you can't do this because God said so. Who made God? Who came first, God or man? And that is the real question. And you can believe in whatever you want. I believe in the Greek gods because their myths and the Greek history is so fascinating to me. I love Greek mythology. And every other mythology is really fucking cool, but Greek mythology has always strung a chord with me since I was incredibly little. It's amazing. And so I stuck with that. But does that mean, oh, so your gods created the world? No, my gods didn't do shit. And neither did yours. Religion is a man-made concept, but it is beautiful. It is beautiful how we took this concept that there is some omnipotent being that created this world to explain things that go on around us that we don't necessarily understand. And that is cool. You can believe in whatever spirit and deity that you want as long as you're not pushing it onto other people or hurting yourself or others in the process. Jehovah's Witnesses are an amazing example about how religion can be used to wrong everything. Jehovah's Witnesses are little pieces of shit who said, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not gonna be Jehovah's friend because you ate that fucking birthday cupcake. If you've seen the Jehovah's cartoons, you know what I'm talking about. But the thing is that religion is a beautiful thing, but if you tell people what they can and can't do because my religion said so, screw you. And not even like if you're trying to mock people outside of your religion or harm them outside of your religion, people inside your religion too. I believe that Christianity and Catholicism is a beautiful thing, but the way that it was made to control and to harm is not. The whole thing that a woman's highest form of being is if she has children with a man, and that's her most amazing thing that she can do. When we've had women who have created fucking things out of rocket science. Women are not nothing with. Sorry, my music is making noises. Don't do that. It's amazing how we can have this kind of thinking and this kind of mentality that women are nothing if they do not have children as a form of control, and you say, oh, it's just what the Bible says. Do you not see something wrong with that? The Bible says a lot of things. Not all of it is good. Not all of it is appropriate, because it's an interpretation of God's word. And do you not think that in the hands of man that people were like, that thing right there, you see that verse? I'm going to interpret that God doesn't like gay people, which isn't true, by the way. It was about men sleeping with little boys, not about men sleeping with men consensually. Homosexuality is not a sin, and I'm really sick and tired of telling people that, because I've had so many people, including people the same age as me, if not younger, say homosexuality is a sin, or it's unnatural, or it's a disorder. Why? Why? What are you talking about? Why? Why is it a sin? Do you not think that the cavemen were doing things with other cavemen and that the cave women were doing things with cave women? It has never been an unnatural, a weird, or a disgusting thing. It's only unnatural and disgusting because you made it that way, because you see it that way. It has never been that way in the first place. It's the same thing with vultures. Honestly, I've always seen it as an analogy for vultures, because vultures are so fucking cool. They keep our environment clean of diseases, and they might be gross little shits, but they're really awesome. And they're our nature's decomposers, but people have always seen them as a sign of disgusting disease and death, when that is not true. They just recycle things so it can go back into the system of, well, the ecosystem. I'm getting off track, but that's entirely what this channel is about. For me to rant and for probably no one to listen. We have come so far evolutionarily with our culture and our minds that I don't understand why I can't be a man who just naturally has a chest. Like, have you seen some shirtless men? Some of those guys have bigger tits than women. Like, who cares, dude? They're the same thing, and they're not even like a sexual organ. They're a mammary gland. Like, okay, why is that attractive to you? It's fat. It's fat and tissue. Oh god, how dare I? But it's just a very interesting thing, and usually the people who say that kind of stuff are the kind of people who were told all of their life, no, you can't do that because that's bad. Why is that bad? Why is that bad? Go on, explain to me. Oh, because God said, I don't know. No. Why is that bad? Because people will think I'm weird, okay? I'm weird. I run around in a tail all day. Ooh, am I scary? Ooh. No one cares. I don't care. And anybody who does care can mind their damn business. I've had teenage boys come up to me on their knees, meowing at me. And you have the audacity to call me weird because I wear a mask and a tail? Oh, God forbid. Because you were taught hate. Children don't hate naturally. Hate is taught. And if that child is doing things hateful or discriminatory, they learned that from somewhere. Because I have a little cousin, and they
are like, this kid's like 7 years old, and he's like, "Oh, why'd your friend call you Oliver?" I was like, "Oh, you can't tell anybody else, but I'm transgender." And he gasped so loud. He's like, "Oh my god, that is so cool." He wasn't mad. He wasn't weirded out. He had questions, yeah, so I explained it to him. And he was like, "That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool." Because he shouldn't care. I'm a human being, and so is he. We're all gonna be different. Literally, the way that people are like, "Oh, you can't do that because that's weird and different." People have been doing things weird and different for a really long time. Do you think that we are still doing the same things that the Victorians were doing? No. We've changed things because we're like, "Oh, that thing's bad." Shitting in the streets, that's not a good thing. Because that causes the plague. Yeah, we're not ever doing the same thing. We're constantly evolving. And you refusing to accept that people are different than you is you refusing to change and to evolve. And like I always say, as a paleontologist, whenever I get scared of change, whenever things in my life change and I get scared, that's pathetic. A paleontologist scared of change is really dumb because my entire job changes based on the discoveries that are found. Have you seen the evolution of the T-Rex? Have you seen that thing? It went from standing like this to actually being like a naturalist mammal. We thought it roared for the longest time. No, its ears were too sensitive for that. My stuff is falling. Oh no. But quite literally, if I grab this book right here, I want to move it this way. I would. Why is my. I'm sitting in my closet now because my bedroom door is open and we have a camera. But pretty much, don't let people tell you what you can and can't do. Don't let them tell you you can't be a trans woman and not be skinny. That's weird. Okay. Don't let them tell you that you are. Because here's the thing, with passing, again, societal thing, it's if people perceive you as a man or a woman, but like, who cares what society perceives me as? They could perceive me as as a roach for all I care, because I don't care what other people think of me. Because you can call me weird, you can think whatever you want about me, and it will never be true. Your words does not make it automatically true. You can call me like a weirdo. Does that mean I'm a weirdo? No, it doesn't just automatically make it like that. I am always going to be a little strange, a little odd in the eyes of society, but who cares? In the end, we're all just trying to live and exist our own way, and passing is just how people perceive you. I get misgendered all the time and I don't care because I know what I look like, I know what I sound like. But the only one who will ever truly know who I am is me and the people who really do know me. And not even I will know what I am. That made no sense. I am the only person who will ever truly know what and who I am. But at the same time, I still won't. Because who knows? I could be going the complete wrong direction with my career, and I could have a better career as a baker. But I would still be happy with that choice because it's my life. I'm going to live one time. Why should I care what anybody else around me says? It really does not matter. In cases where you can't be yourself because you are in physical danger, that is incredibly different. It really does hurt to be yourself more. It hurts to not be yourself more than it hurts to be insulted by people who are being mean to you for who you are. You know what I mean? Bullying sucks. And it has resulted in the death of a lot of people because some people just can't handle it anymore. And also, I'm really, really sorry for this glare. There's a crack across my camera. But you are the only person who will ever truly know you for who you are. And if other people are never going to see that. Even your closest best friend might perceive one thing about you minorly wrong. No one will ever truly get to know who you are at your core other than you. My mom always said, "You're not transgender. I'm your mother. I would know." No, you wouldn't, because you are not me. And you have not lived through my experiences, and you have not lived through anything I'm going through at this point. You can say, "Oh, I have." No, you haven't. You've been a teenager, but you have not been a teenager with you as a mother and my father as a father. You did not grow up during the COVID times. You grew up through worse, but that means that your history and everything you went through is going to have a profound effect on your mind, not mine. What you went through as a kid is different than what I went through. And yes, what you went through as a kid was worse. That doesn't matter. And you might have had similar experiences to me. It's like I always say, you've sailed a ship before, but you've never sailed these seas. You've sailed once before, but you have not sailed this part of the ocean. Because you haven't. And, like, a lot of people will take offense to that. But again, who really cares? You are the only one living in your timeline. You are the only one who is living through your exact time of events. You might have people who have similar parents than you, a similar story to you, grew up on similar things, experienced similar things, but you will never ever be the same person. You can have a sibling and you two were treated the exact same way, but one little minute thing, one word different, will be all it takes for you two to be different. And just your minds, too, dude. Like, it's very interesting how your mind works, because it can be like, this thing in your childhood affected your personality now, but it could have always been like that, and just these timeline of events showed you what your mind was like. I did not follow the line of a transgender kid because, "Oh, you didn't do masculine things when you were a kid. You were actually very gender neutral, but you played with a lot of girly stuff." Okay. Like, again, who really cares? Because your story is your own, and my story is my own. I barely get gender dysphoria anymore because I've realized that the way I perceive my body, the feminine aspects of me. Oh, hi, Kitty. Hello. She's special. Um, the way that I perceive my body and the way that others might perceive it will be completely different. Why do I have to cater to the millions of other people who will see me as feminine when that's not really who I am? And there are people who are born with feminine attributes but are physically masculine, intersex people. Your physical body does not determine who you are, and you can make your physical body match who you are at your core, and that's what I'm doing. I got scared when I stopped experiencing a lot of gender dysphoria around my chest, because I thought, "Oh god, what if this means I'm not transgender anymore?" And then I realized my dysphoria doesn't make me transgender. My euphoria is what makes me transgender. It's what makes me happy. And freaky little thing. She's so like loving. I don't know why. She's been ignoring me for like weeks. But you know, live how you want, be how you want. Your physical body does not ever determine what you can and can't be. And I will continue to be every single one of those things that I listed in the shower just started up. I will continue to be every single one of those things that I listed in the beginning because that's who I am and what I want to be and what I want to do. And I'm happy with that. And no one will ever make me change that because I spent so long after arguments with my mom trying to please her and trying to tell myself, you're not transgender because your mother said so. And you don't want to make your mother sad, now do you? And you don't want to create adversity for yourself, now do you? Because being trans is a much more difficult path. And my mom, when we got into an argument, literally said, you went and chose every single option to get yourself bullied. And it's like, okay, that's because this world is weird. I'm born a woman. I'm gonna be bullied either way. Like, I'm trans. I'm pansexual. Oh? I'm trans, I'm pansexual, I present both masculinely and femininely, and sometimes not even on the spectrum. I am a person who still sleeps with stuffed animals at night and has bluey themed decor in my room. I am a witch. I am a hellpole. I am all of these things that can get me bullied and more. God, being a furry is like so difficult. But it does not matter to me. I will always be bullied, no matter what I do. Even if I do things that are traditional, I will never be enough. I will never be enough for so many people. Because even if I stayed a girl, you don't dress right. You don't do your makeup right. Your makeup looks ugly. You talk wrong. Why do you sit like that? Girls don't do this. Girls don't. She's standing up to rub on my phone. It's always going to be difficult. It's always going to be, you don't do this right. I will never be enough for anybody. I will, like, even for people who say that I am enough, I still won't be. Because there's always a version of yourself in everybody else's mind. But that doesn't mean you can't make friends with people. Be friends. Be friends who hug each other. Be friends who kiss each other. Who really cares? Because in the end, it's never going to be perfect. And that's fine.